Hi class 7, welcome back to the chemistry class. So today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is atom, molecules and radicals, which is chapter number 4. Okay, now in our previous chapter in matter, we have already known about, we have been accustomed with the terms of atoms and molecules, right? So in this chapter we are going to learn about another new particles called radicals. Now today we are not going to start with those. We are going to just brush up our concept and who have discovered this. Now this term atoms, it came from a Greek term called atomos. Atomos, which means the small particles. Who discovered this or who coined this term? He was Democritus. Now, in this class, we are going to learn about two very important scientists. First one is Democritus. Second one is John Dalton. First one was Greek in origin, and second was English. Now, here Democritus, unlike other scientists of those times, they were not scientists, they were famous as philosophers, right? So because they had their contribution in various fields like philosophy, anatomy, astrology, astronomy, science and various other fields. Similarly, Democritus, like them, he also had some contribution in our science. So he was the first one who coined this term atoms or atomos. Now after him, it came the John Dalton, who further took this concept of atoms further in light of whole world. This concept atom, this was pretty vague in initial time, because many of the people during that ancient time, they didn't believe of that anything can be any matter what we cannot see in our naked eyes. It can be the fundamental of anything what we are touching or seeing or observing every day. From there, John Dalton, he coined that term atoms and postulated certain characters or properties of it. Okay. Now, how this atom molecules came into being? Now, these atoms, basically, we have already known that atoms are the smallest unit of any matter. Now, how this molecule is from atom, how this journey toward the matter is coming up. Suppose this is an atom and this is an atom. But the biggest disadvantage of being an atom is they cannot persist or exist freely in the nature, though they are containing all of the property of a matter inside them. So what they did, they combined together to form a stable compound, or not compound, stable particle, and scientists named them molecule. Now two or more such molecules, they combine together to form, giving rise to the matters. Okay. Now suppose we have taken graphite. Okay. Graphite, do you know where we can find it? Suppose those pencils you use every day, the nips of those pencils, they are made up of graphite. So here, let's crush those graphite. Okay. We keep on crushing them. Okay. Now, as long as we can see them, keep on crushing. The basic fundamental, the smallest unit of those graphite that will come into play, those are the atoms. Atoms of what? Atoms of carbon, because graphite is form of carbon. The smallest unit of graphite is the carbon. These carbon atoms, they combine together in a certain structure. They form molecules, and from molecules they combine further. They keep on combining to give rise to another substance that we name it be it graphite, be it diamond, be it other things. Even our fundamental thing, we are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Can you believe this? Human beings are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. If you are splitting us, splitting and further keep on splitting, you will find the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. What is the fundamental formula of a glucose that we eat? Not the glucon D, that is the glucose that plant make. Okay, what we find in our food, carbohydrates. So what is the fundamental thing of a carbohydrate? That is glucose, and the formula of it is C6H12O6. C stands for carbon, H stands for hydrogen, O stands for oxygen. So you can understand we all are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Isn't it funny and interesting? So we can say from there that atom is the smallest tiny particle what we cannot perceive by our naked eye, which contain all of the property of a compound or element or of any matter inside it, but it cannot persist or exist freely in our nature, but molecules can. So from there, John Dalton postulated some of the characteristics of the atom during that time. After that, those postulates or the formulas, not formulas, those postulates or characteristics have been further modified, further discoveries has been made, inventions have been made based on those. That is the reason these characteristics of atoms by John Dalton is so important and we read still now. Okay, so what was the first thing he said about the atom? That is any matter made up of tiny invisible particles called atoms. From there he said tiny, that they are very small or smallest. Invisible, that means we cannot perceive them with our open, clear or naked eyes. Atoms can't be further divided. He said that. But in our further centuries, it has been proved wrong because atoms can be further divided, what we are going to study in our later classes. Next one, it cannot be created nor be destroyed. Atoms cannot be created. Nobody can create it. Nobody can destroy it. That's what John Dalton said. Number 4, atoms of same elements are similar, he said. So let's take elements or same elements, the atoms from same elements, say oxygen. So the atom of, take 2 atoms of oxygen, so their properties or their characters, any kind of characters, their fundamental characters will be similar to each other. Okay, while the atoms of different elements are different in their nature, that's why their properties are different. We cannot compare the elements like hydrogen with oxygen. The atoms of oxygen, all the atoms of oxygen, they are showing the similar property, while the atoms of hydrogen, they will show a different property. They will be similar to each other, but they will be differing from oxygen, right? So we understand this concept. Now, the smallest particle, it is the smallest, atom is the smallest particle to take part in a chemical reaction. So in a chemical reaction where with the help of which the compounds are forming. How these compounds are forming? Say we have taken 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, and they are chemically reacting together to give what? Giving 1 molecule of water, whose character is totally different from the character of hydrogen and oxygen. So atoms are basically the smallest particle that can possibly take part in a chemical reaction to giving rise to a new substance. And the last one, he said, they are combined to other atoms, like atoms are combine to other atoms in ratio to form compound. So that was also given by him, that this certain atoms, they are combined together. They are not combined in a haphazard manner. They are combined in a certain way, that they will be, if I am putting together 3 carbon atom and 1 oxygen atom, we cannot give rise to carbon dioxide, right? For that, we have to take what? 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atom. This is what he said. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope you are clear with the characters of the atom given by John Dalton, and in our next class we are going to go through whatever the divisions, or in our later centuries, what are the divisions of the, if we are splitting up atoms, what we are going to get. That is what we are going to study in our next class. So